Alright everybody, the Castlevania Resurrection Demo drama continues, and I have some new information from both sides of the parties that I want to dive into. And a lot of it is some really fascinating information about the demo itself, in addition to the demo's potential release date, and a little bit more information about how I think where this person might have gotten this demo. Now that's going to be more of like me personally thinking about that, and kind of like whittling it down based on dates and stuff. So for those of you who are watching this and you aren't familiar, let me just catch you up to speed here. The game Castlevania Resurrection was a Dreamcast game that got canceled. It was worked on for probably about, 2 years or so, and it got canned in, I believe it was about like March 2000, like right around the time when the PlayStation 2 was announced. So, this game kind of sat and nobody knew really what happened to it. Supposedly some of the assets were used in Castlevania Curse of Darkness. Konami took it back and worked on it a little bit. That's what I've read online on the internet. And regarding the demo itself, the demo is labeled number 20. And so supposedly, in my conversation with Mark Lindsey, who is the composer of the game, of Castlevania Resurrection, this has been long documented for years and years and years. Most of the people that worked on this game have publicly spoken about it, or some of the people, rather. I think the art director spoke on it, and also, of course, Mark has spoken on it in various capacity and lent his music, out, through his SoundCloud and, all sorts of stuff like that. So I made a video detailing that I spoke with Mark Lindsey, who's the composer, and talked to him a little bit about this recent demo that surfaced and what happened to it, because it was put on eBay and then it got removed. And I was like, wait, why did it get removed? So I was just kind of chatting with him, because I've been friends with him. I worked on a Castlevania Sonia Belmont Legacy video where I basically reviewed Castlevania Legends, and also talked a little bit about Resurrection, and kind of worked out the timeline, how Sonia could fit in that timeline, etc., etc. This is kind of recapping a lot of what I talked about in the first video. But yeah, so I spoke with Mark more in depth, and also spoke with the seller, who is on eBay. And so I'm going to dive into that in just a minute, as far as like the real nitty-gritty details about the demo and some of the info on it. But I want to do it, because there's so much information in this video, I want to do it in a little bit more comfortable setting, not in front of a camera and reading off a phone or whatever. So I'm going to hook all this up to my computer and show you guys pictures and stamps, actual conversations that I had with both the seller as well as Mark. And so that way you guys can see both perspectives and both sides of the coin.
All right, so now that I'm in front of a computer, so Mark Lindsey got in touch with me again regarding the conversation that they had with Ardend, just a follow-up conversation, trying to hopefully clarify and go over the details regarding this one more time, with what happened with the eBay sale and everything. eBay is giving the seller a lot of problems about the final value fee on the auction, and they made him send a picture of the item with the current date as of 4 days ago, which he just sent to Mark, and that's for release as well. You're looking at a picture of it at this point right now. Now, he could still be totally yanking my chain and took this pic today with the 16 as the date and has actually sold it. Who knows? We can't know. The image was sent through eBay, so it seems to be stripped of EXIF data, and the file date says the 20th, but I'm sure eBay recompressed it. I just know, we don't have any way to authenticate it. So I'm giving this with a grain of salt regarding the photo. It may or may not be real. I tend to believe that it is real, but that's how it goes. So this picture that you're looking at right here is the eBay post directly from Ardend to Mark, part of their conversation. And he writes, "Yep, you can let him know, and I didn't sell it. In fact, eBay is trying to screw with final value fee charges for what the auction was ended. I'm asking for them to waive it, and they asked that I take a pic and send them with the date to prove I still have it. Here's the pic. I honestly will stick it in a box and forget it ever existed." So, yeah, I don't blame him in wanting to do that. So, again, here's the photo. It's pretty clear. Now, if you look at this date here, for Castlevania Resurrection on the CD, it says 11/5/99, and it's disc. I believe that's disc 20, supposedly. This photo is not as clear as the other one, I believe, but 5/11/99. I want you to keep that date in mind here. Ardend also wrote back to Mark. And, basically Mark was explaining that, a lot of people were blaming Mark for not only the sale getting ruined, but also that the game will never exist, outside of everything. That, this guy is going to basically either sell it privately or hold on to it and never let it see the light of day. So Ardend is saying, "Hi, ugh, sorry you're getting this. I have been too. I pretty much ignore my eBay messages at this point. LOL, except yours, of course. No private sale. I still have it, and yes, the disc is dumped and will be released soon, but not by me. The GDI is in the hands of more capable people. I have no way of offering proof, really, but that it will come from a known scene person who has released other things in the past. Hope that helps." I know nothing about the scene. I only care about Castlevania. So, hopefully whoever has it does the right thing. I'm sure they will. Next up, Mark and I continued to talk about this. He said that he is going to take care of it soon, or that it should be up soon. I suspect that's up to the people doing it, so maybe a group of preservation people. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. So please note that Mark was the one that reached out about this to share this information with me, so that way I could share it with you guys. So hopefully people kind of back off a little bit on Mark and the seller regarding this. Now, regarding the demo itself, and a little bit of information about what Mark says about the demo, and then we'll get to what Ardend says about it. So Mark wrote, "This is way more effort than I told myself I would do, but I do really care about the preservation. I'm recollecting more now that this could possibly have been a somewhat later build than I thought originally, because the date seems close to our termination date, not the E3 date. So while I doubt there's any full hidden gameplay, there may be a few enemies and some hit detection and hopefully even a whip." So we kind of went back and forth on this a little bit, trying to piece together what exactly was the situation with the demo and when the demo was actually made, like what was in the demo and everything. So Mark goes on to write that we found out the morning we were canned, if I remember correctly. They gave us like 30 minutes to pack our stuff and leave, which was weird for the audio people that were on multiple titles. I think they were bleeding cash and just needed to cut their losses. Yeah, it was an unannounced meeting, and they were literally checking on us so we wouldn't take stuff like this demo, probably. Ha 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 ha. So, again, a joke. It's a joke, people. Ha! Please understand it's a joke. Okay, so then he says, "I still need to check my records. I may have some juicy stuff." He goes on to talk about a potential box that he has of random stuff that he might be able to uncover one of these days if he finds it, But the more interesting part of all this, as far as the conversation that I had with Ardend, was really interesting and dived much deeper into exactly what is on this demo. And in addition to that, it also reiterates what was told to Mark, or what Mark told me, basically. So I wrote the seller And Mark gave him a heads up that I was going to write him. I said, hello there, I'm working with Mark Lindsey, who said to reach out regarding your conversation. If possible, I want to just confirm that it's okay to share the two of yours conversation regarding the Castlevania Resurrection demo that you currently have. Is that okay? He said, hi, no problem. Hopefully this puts the world at rest. I said, much appreciated. Would you be up for a few quick questions? He wrote, guess it depends on the questions, but sure, shoot. So I said, can you tell me where the demo you received came from? Not necessarily specifics, but like a magazine editor, someone who worked at E3. I didn't expect this question to be answered, and he would not answer it. He said, the one question I won't answer. So I said, I had to try. How long have you had it? He said, 20 years, I guess. It was after the Dreamcast was more or less dead, so maybe a little less. I said, why did you decide to unveil it after all these years? He says, I had mentioned it in the auction, but I have been slowly getting rid of stuff sitting in boxes forever and happened upon it again. I had totally forgotten all about it. I assumed it had long been available by now, but was shocked to learn it hadn't. I said, yeah, it's unfortunate that nothing else has been released about it before, aside from the music from Mark and, some pictures from the developers outside the gaming sites, blah, blah, blah. I'm just glad that based on the conversation you had with Mark, it's getting released to the public, hopefully in the near future. When you were filming the video of this, I had noticed your hands were shaking quite a bit. I'd probably be doing the same thing. Showcasing a piece of Vania history like this in this capacity is a huge deal to us diehards. Did you film it with one hand or a camera phone? Yeah, it was hard to keep it steady while trying to do everything else one-handed. The video was mainly to show it exists, not to show off the game. Had a lot of people complaining that I didn't know how to properly do a gameplay video. That wasn't the point of this video. I then asked, and in the demo, just to confirm, there's no attack animation, no other motions. Looks like it was just to show motion and level design. Was the goal after finding it to back it up and sell it? What changed your mind regarding just shelving it once it's been ripped or put on the net? So he wrote, actually, the demo is fully playable. There is a whip attack, even a charged whip attack, and you can kill the enemies, collect sub-weapons, break candles, etc. None of the areas connect to the next, so you have to use the menu to go to the next one on the list. The final area, the one where I went into the lava because one-handed gameplay isn't good gameplay, ends with a boss fight that you can actually win. That is unbelievable information. Like, if this demo gets released, we will actually have a playable version of this game. Probably, I mean, you can't beat it, but you can beat a boss. I said, that's way cool. That's good to know. Final question. Well, two-parter. I know you have told Mark you plan on or have already properly given the demo, assuming digitally, to someone in the gaming community to rip and release to the public. Did they give a timeline regarding the release of it to the public, or by what means they would release? And lastly, just want to double-check that all this information can be documented by me to release to the public to let people know what happened on your side of the story. He said, no timeline other than soon, and that part is totally out of my hands. I can't wait for everyone to have a chance to experience this lost piece of Castlevania and Dreamcast history. And yes, you can put this all out there. Hopefully this can put the whole issue to rest, and we can all focus on hunting down other long-lost prototypes. I said, for sure, thanks so much. I had an additional question, because again, I wanted to touch base on this whole thing with Mark. So I said, one more question. My goal is to make sure that both sides of the story are reported fairly. When Mark approached you asking about the demo, there was talk about a 20% cut going to Mark, which was jokingly being mentioned. I saw it as did Mark, but lots of people took up an idea that you pulled the listing because of Mark threatening litigation. Did you feel that Mark was threatening you with legal action of some sort, and did that, or the 20% cut or joke reference, cause the listing to come down? Mark got in a lot of heat about this, so I'm just trying to confirm or deny this, not trying to throw him under the bus, just trying to report your side of things. Thanks. He said, nah, none of it was so serious. All he really did was let me know that he owns the rights to the music and joked about a cut. It was mostly just chatting about the game, his work, shock and joy that it still exists, etc. I decided, though, that it wouldn't be fair to him to sell it and took it down. In reality, it wasn't going to be a legit sale anyways. The thing was flooded with fake bids, so that would have ended with either a non-paying bidder or cancel transaction request. No one was going to pay $25,000 for an incomplete demo. That is it. That is the Castlevania Resurrection drama about this demo. Hopefully this means that it'll get released to the public. Hopefully this means that we're going to see it someday in the near future. One can only hope. As I said in the previous video and in my my Sonya Belmont Legacy, dude, you haven't played this game review of Castlevania Legends and Castlevania Resurrection, which you are seeing currently on the screen. I had been wanting to play this Resurrection game since 1998, I believe it was. Whenever it was first mentioned. It was either 98 or 99. And the idea of playing this game just fills me with so much joy, because it's something that I never thought I would get to play. And so I'm very excited about it. I hope to play it soon. One more quick thing about the date. I mentioned before, I think it was 5/11/1999. Yeah, 5/11/1999. The Dreamcast came out in the US in September 9th of 1999. So they were working on this game during the run of the Japanese Dreamcast, of course. So Konami probably started development on this game fairly early on, once they got dev kits and everything. And when they saw the PS2, that was the end. They knew that it was going to get tanked, and they knew that it wasn't going to sell well, or at least they assumed it wasn't going to sell well. So that's the reason why they ultimately pulled it, as most people suspect. Whether or not that's true or not, no idea. Mark was a little bit fuzzy on the details. Again, it was 20 years ago. Some people can't remember what they had for breakfast yesterday. So, that date, I did a little digging. 5/11/99. That is 2 days before E3 of 1999. E3 was May 13th to May 15th of 1999, according to the internet. So, what this tells me, and again, this is speculation, it's not fact, but it is based on what I'm seeing here. I personally think that the seller, Ardend, got this demo from somebody from E3. I could be totally wrong, but the fact that the demo has the date 2 days prior to E3 of that year, and that game was shown, I believe, behind closed doors at E3. So, if that's the case, and I believe that is the case, but I could be wrong about that. This demo could have been the E3 demo that was released, as far as, like, you know, shown off behind closed doors. Now, there was additional footage that was posted for the trailer from E3. And that's got that typical Resurrection Dreamcast video that you've probably seen, with the wolf screaming and, you know, the whip getting snapped and all that stuff, the CG video. So yeah, this whole thing is really interesting. I'm very curious as to what has happened, but I suspect that this demo was used at E3. And maybe I'm totally wrong, but who knows? Nobody knows. Well, guys, that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. So if you like this video, go check out the other one if you want to. I mean, it's kind of outdated at this point based on this information, but hey, hopefully in a couple weeks or maybe a few months, we'll be able to see the demo. I'll tell you what, I'll be definitely playing it when it comes out, and I absolutely want to either review it or preview it or whatever I can do to get my hands on it, because very excited about it. That's it. The whole thing. Share this video. I want to make sure that we get the word out to all Castlevania fans to let them know about this new updated information, and hopefully put this thing to rest. Thanks, guys.